so we're back again with another episode of the Fan Out Podcast, and today we have a special guest with us, Jess Rosenberg from AirOps currently, but she's also built brands at Jasper, and I'm going to let her talk about it some more because she can tell us about her background. But today we're going to talk about brand and how it's important for AI search and what does it mean and what role does it play in this larger conversation. So Jess, I would love to start. Tell us a little bit about the work that you've done in the past and some of the companies you've worked with, and give us the highlight reel.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me,
Yeah,
first
of
off.
course.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited for this conversation. The highlight reel. So ever since I was little, and I promise I won't monologue about my childhood and entire career for the entire podcast, but I think this is helpful context, that I've always been like a tinkerer and obsessed with technology, and got my first Mac Performa 575 in the 5th grade. And ever since, it was like off to the races. So I've loved working at technology companies. I was at Twitter for a long time, worked at companies like Cloudflare, Webflow, Jasper, and then most recently AirOps. And I've sort of like hopped to each company because I was fascinated with the space that each one occupied. I think the common theme amongst the companies I've worked at are, yes, the industries being really exciting and like the spaces in which each company occupies, but even more so what each product has empowered people to do in their careers. And so at AirOps, the marketing space is shifting. A big reason why I decided to join was because AirOps had this cohort program. They had research, they had a product as well, but it wasn't like we were tossing this AI software over the fence and being like, good luck. We were kind of supporting our customers and marketers with education and resources too. And, at Webflow, that was during the no-code movement, where designers were empowered to build websites in a way they never could before. So I think the theme for me is brand and creative in the world of human empowerment. As cheesy as that sounds.
I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
So one of the first things I want to ask you about then is, everybody is talking about taste right now. Everybody's talking about design and how much it matters, and do you have taste or do you not? It's not something that you can purchase. However, I feel like if a team acquires someone like you who has this very unique and necessary skill set right now, it's almost a superpower. So I want to start out by asking you, what are your thoughts on this kind of taste dialogue that's happening right now? What's your 2 cents on it?
Yeah, well, I have more of a hot take than 2 cents.
All right.
Love it.
If you guys like hot takes.
Of course.
I think taste has always mattered. Craft has always mattered. Brand has always mattered.
Of course.
Right? And I just love hearing, especially recently, when folks are like, brand is back. Like, brand is more important than ever. I'm like, great that everyone thinks that now.
Yeah.
But actually, hi, it was always important. But AI has really made it so it's more important than ever, because the cost to create, the tools that are available to literally anyone, it's like you see how much slop is out on the internet across writing and design and even the vibe-coded websites.
Yeah.
And so taste, experience, knowing how to craft exceptionally beautiful and differentiated experiences is the moat right now for brands.
100%. And one of my questions for you was going to be related to this, because I always make a joke that designers are marked safe from AI, because to me, it is the hardest thing, that visual brand, that visual taste. It's the hardest thing to replicate with AI, or to do with AI without that experience and that I've certainly tried.
And we all have. It's not pretty.
Every time I'm like, I have to create these social graphics, and I have this sort of idea in my head, but that AI tools just don't let you get there in a way that they do with even coding or anything like that.
Yeah.
And do you think that they ever will get there? Or do you think that something so taste heavy visual brand and stuff is sort of always marked safe?
I actually think they're there.
You think?
And the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is that they're there if in the right hands.
Yes.
And I see that firsthand, with myself, with my team, with folks on our product design team. We live in AI tools every single day.
Yeah.
A lot of the output that you might see on social from AirOps probably comes from an AI tool that my team and I built
Oh, wow.
to like crank out production ready assets, but they're like on brand and high craft.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then also like my husband is starting a company and I designed the logo for him in ChatGPT a few days ago.
Yeah,
But it's like one of the best logos I've ever made because I like know how to prompt it and I know how to like get it to do what I want to do. And so it's kind of an art and a science, but in the right hands, it can really produce extraordinary results. But you need to have that, I think, eye for detail, that taste, that experience.
100%.
Someone recently asked me if, you know, folks like in high school who are considering going to college for design and creative, if they should still do that with all of these AI tools. And I'm like, go. It is so important to still learn the fundamentals of what makes something excellent and how to train your eye and all of the history that's come before us. So it's so important to learn the basics in my opinion.
For sure. I saw a tweet the other day that kind of reminds me of that, which is I think somebody had asked some developer, like, you know, how are developers so chill knowing that AI is putting them out of work? And somebody else replied and they were like, my job is to solve problems. It's not to write code. Yeah. And I think that's true of kind of every discipline where it's like all of these different disciplines, our job is to solve our problems through these disciplines and AI can help you solve those problems. And so I think that's a good point where it's like, yes, of course, go study this stuff because you're going to be the one that has to solve the problem ultimately.
Right. It's a tool. It's a really powerful tool.
Yeah. And the education piece is context building, right? Like you can't go in and make an informed, taste-driven decision without the context to know what's good and what's not good. Question I have for you is, how has your title evolved over time? Are you a creative director? Has it gone through different iterations? What is it now? Is it changing? What does that look like?
Yeah, I've gone from designer to art director to interactive designer. You know, when the web came to be for marketers and designers, I'm old, so I'll just say that. Head of brand, creative director, head of brand and creative. Now I've kind of dubbed a new title for myself, which is like Brandgineer. Brand engineer combined. And it's a systems way of thinking of how to scale a brand, either with AI or without AI, but more recently with AI.
I'm curious about that. Like, how do you think about setting up some kind of system like that for brands?
The way I've been thinking about it is that for a brand, you have two buckets of what you need to accomplish from an outcome standpoint. The first bucket is consistency, because like with brand consistency, that's how you build trust with an audience, right? So you have your assets that just need to be cranked out, your promo assets, maybe some ads, evergreen stuff that just needs to like be consistent all the time. That type of work is perfect for AI. So if you have the right skills or workflows in place, or you build some tools that can do that for you, all you need to do then is just to make sure you're maintaining those agents and workflows and skills. And then that machine can basically crank those assets out consistently. Obviously, a brand that's only consistent is going to be really boring at the end of the day. So where I think human, big, beautiful brains should be reserved for are the parts of a brand that are surprising or different, or like a campaign that needs to be a little bit off the cuff from how you normally treat your brand, or an experience that might be different, or a conference, or whatever it might be. So the more you can kind of offload the production and repeatable and consistent work to AI, the more time ideally you have reserved for, you know, the different creative spark type of brand work.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I'm curious to get your take too on, you know, you said the more you can offload the production stuff, the more time you have to do kind of the higher level stuff. Have you found that now that you have this more time, do you actually have more time, or because you're so creative, because you're a tinkerer, like, do you now find yourself like working more to like create more things?
It's a good question. I think the AI giving you more time is a fallacy if you're going to state it in that exact way. I think what it's doing is shifting focus. So less giving time back and more shifting focus and effort. And you know, back when AI just started surfacing, and I think this still holds true, but my hot take back then was that AI should be reserved for like the mundane, repeated manual tasks that we normally spent so much of our time and focus doing. And that's like not a good use of our expertise.
Yeah.
Across any function, in my opinion. And so does it give time back to us? Yes, but it also shifts our focus into being able to do more of what our expertise should be reserved for.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, I'm not good at math, but I think it saves time, but maybe not. But we're doing less of the things we don't like. So all in all, it works out.
I think shifting focus is the perfect way to put it. Because, it's like you're not necessarily working less in that way, but you are shifting your focus to maybe what you enjoy more or what is more impactful or whatever. I think that's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about brand and how your title has evolved. The next thing I want to ask you is, there are so many brands that are popping up right now. The VC money is flowing. There are new ones every single week, I feel like. But there is a feeling that you get when you look at certain brands versus sometimes you don't get the feeling when you look at other brands. And so I wanted to ask you if you could quantify that a little bit and speak to what makes a brand make someone feel something, and how do you Brandgineer that? Like, what's the science that goes into building a brand that makes people remember it, feel something, connect with it? How do you go about that process?
Yeah, it's definitely an art and a science. And it's not just one asset. It's not just one touch point. And it's not, I think there's a fallacy that like brand is just the creative team. Like they go make all the pretty fun things. And I deeply believe in my core that companies should treat brand as an entire company opportunity, because it is how your salespeople show up in conversations. It is how your employees show up at events. It is how your web surface areas are presenting your brand. It's literally everything that you are putting out into the world from the company. That's why I like to call it, like when I'm working on rebrands, I call them world building, because you're orchestrating this planet of sorts where everything has to operate in a certain government that you are kind of constructing. When I go to a website and I get a visceral reaction about a brand, what I ask first is, I wonder if that same feeling happens if I interact with other facets of the brand and how consistent they are in that feeling.
Yeah. That's a good way to gauge.
And the other interesting thing, and I've always thought this to be true too, is that the measure of success of a brand is how consistently people talk about that brand when that brand's not in the room. And that maybe is a good segue to AI search.
Absolutely.
Because now agents are responsible for, delivering your brand to buyers and purchasers. And so now it's even more important to consistently ensure that you are showing up in a certain way, in a consistent, authoritative way.
Yeah.
So sorry, not a clean, direct answer. No. So many things.
I know. You could probably talk for 3 hours about that and still not even scratch the surface.
Truly.
I want you to speak a little bit more about the agents, though. So I think I'm speaking for me, but when I think about brand, I think visual. But it sounds like you are saying that brand is also text. It's also because agents are reading text, right? Talk to us a little bit more about how brands need to be thinking about this new aspect of how brands show up online.
Yeah, for sure. So at AirOps, we use this phrase called frontier knowledge. And it's information that an LLM might not yet have. And so brands should really think about their content across the board in terms of what sort of unique, ownable, authoritative information should they be contributing to the internet. That is authoritative, only they can put out, new to the LLM frontier, that these machines don't have that information yet. It's fresh. And making sure that they're able to do so consistently across platforms, even with offsite content. So it's a consistency, it's an authority. Also what other people, again, are saying about you when you're not in the room. So offsite, Reddit, communities that are speaking about your brand, is the way in which they're talking about you consistent and favorable. It's that all coming together so that an agent can deliver the best result.
My entire life right now is about offsite content and offsite search. But even to me, it feels overwhelming. It feels like an overwhelming task to take on. And so many of the teams I talk to feel the exact same way. Cross-functionality and brand and all that was always important, but like you said earlier, it has never been more important, especially now in the age of AI search. How do we even start to think about how to like rally the whole company now, like not only just your marketing team, but like your customer service team and like all the people who are contributing to this. How do we rally everyone around brand and around the same version of it?
Yeah. Consistent messaging, consistency across the board, identifying when it makes sense to spike in more creative, unique moments. It really comes from the leadership level.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
Co-founders, founding team, CEO, they really need to truly believe, capital B believe, and capital B brand, for those reasons. And if it doesn't stem from the top, then in my experience, I found it to be very, very difficult, almost impossible to make it happen.
Yeah.
So this is my plea to leaders around the world.
Founders,
believe.
C-suite.
Talking to you.
This is you.
Yeah. So you were recently at Cannes, and I wanted to ask you about that because neither of us were there, but we saw so much content about it this year. It was very creator focused. I want to hear what you took from your experience there as far as brand. How was brand talked about? What are people excited about? What are the things you took from that experience and you think people should know, like, this is what's coming?
Yeah, I think my main takeaway is that IRL is not going away anytime soon, that these opportunities for marketers, creatives, humans to gather are still more, I would say, more important than ever.
I think so.
And something that AI will literally never be able to replace, right? And the way that brands showed up there is they really created these emotionally resonant experiences that allowed you to network, listen to content, truly remember how the brand showed up. So like beach activations like Canva, Adobe, Sport Beach, the events that they held there, the talks they had there, the merch they gave out, every little touch point kind of came together to formulate this experience for people, which was super memorable for me, and I can only imagine is for others as well. I would say the other piece is that the creator economy is on fire.
Right
now.
For sure.
And I was at Cannes last year as well, and creators were there, but not in the same way they were there this year. They were like the talk of the town. They were there working for brands. They were empowered to just do their living at this massive event, and there were all these events that were for them too. Like Adobe had Creator Beach. There were events by OpenAI, like brunches and lunches by like OpenAI, and all of these other companies that were specifically for creators. So it really felt like the event was almost for them this year.
Interesting.
In a way.
I have so many thoughts about this, but one of the main thoughts that I keep having and that I would love to get your take on is it feels like creators are part of this bigger shift in starting to see more B2B companies take on consumer branding and consumer marketing. And I would love to get your take because you were at Twitter, and then I feel like, I was lucky enough to work with you at Jasper, and all the work you've done, you've definitely brought the like consumer mindset and consumer vibe to the B2B companies that you've been at. And I'm curious to know, like, do you also feel like that has been a big shift, and why do you think it is, if you feel that way?
I think yes, and it's really interesting you acknowledge it as consumer, because at the end of the day, I really just think it's being approachable, and delightful and engaging, and not just being like excuse my French, a boring ass B2B SaaS brand that needs to be buttoned up for the enterprise. Like it's just like, I don't know, marketing is hard. Like our jobs are hard. Like folks want to be surprised and delighted while also being able to, interface with a product that's serving them. And serving them well. And so that's really like the mindset that I've liked to bring to the companies that I've worked at. It's like, doesn't necessarily have to be wacky fun. But how do we make it delightful and enjoyable so that people engage with us, they remember us, they want to come back for more, and even be involved in how we market. So like the creator aspect is such a human, obviously, way to do that. And then brands who are deciding which creators to work with specifically is really interesting too, depending on what kind of company you are and what you're selling.
I've never really understood the whole like B2B has to be very buttoned up, consumer gets to be fun. At the end of the day, like whether we're like VP of marketing or whatever, you're still scrolling Instagram and TikTok on your phone at the end of the day. You're still, we're all human. Still people. Yeah.
We're emotional buyers.
Yes, of course.
If it were only up to agents to buy for us, then like maybe that would change.
Right. Yeah.
But humans are emotional buyers. Even like chief security officers. Like when I worked at Cloudflare, it's like these people are probably actually the most emotional buyers.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's as long as humans are buying, we need to think in terms of how to tap into their emotions. And what I found really cool, one of my other takeaways from Cannes was there's this whole cohort of creators, and I would segment you both into that slot as well, but knowledge creators and creators that are so experienced and knowledgeable and go deep in a domain and specialty, and they talk about it, they write about it. And I think that's the type of scroll stopping content that like when I'm scrolling Instagram at night, like I stop and I read and I bookmark and save for later because it's educational, it's helpful. And there was a lot of those types of folks at Cannes this year.
That makes a lot of sense. And especially, you know, as I've been digging into like what the future of Offsite AEO and content looks like, it's like your knowledge creators are going to be maybe the biggest part of your AEO strategy moving forward.
Completely agree.
So that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
And I hope to see more of it too. Like obviously channels like we know, like Reddit, YouTube, LinkedIn Pulse are such strong contributors to Offsite mentions. But I think these other platforms are going to open up in the coming years, and it's going to be a creator's just playground for Offsite.
Yeah.
How fun.
I know.
Totally.
We've been needing this. We've been wanting this.
It's like just like how brand is like back. It's like creators are going to have their big moment now too.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I feel like this also leads us nicely to the conversation about building fans and making people feel things. And I think you said that was another recurring theme that you heard at Cannes, but probably just in this design piece of the equation as well. How do you think about when you're building a brand, when you're working on design pieces, how do you cultivate fandom, and how do you create that emotional response? How do you think about that? I don't have a brain that works like that, so I'm so curious. How?
It's interesting. I don't think it's a one size fits all for every brand. Although there are probably themes that you can apply, a playbook of sorts. I think it's a strong balance between consistency, like I was talking about, and taking bold risks that people will remember and react to. And I think if you can strike that balance well on repeat, then you're not going to ever sacrifice trust for the sake of going bold, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've seen that work really well at the companies I've worked at. I've seen creators take that risk as well. The other thing is the niche aspect of fandom, I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
We worked with a creator at Cannes, Rachel Lowenstein, who's incredible. And I'm like borderline obsessed with you, Rachel, if you're watching this.
Shout out.
But she gave a few talks at Cannes about fandom and specifically how fandom comes to be. And what I thought was so interesting is like the more niche you go and the more tight your consistent messages and the more niche kind of like your topic and offer is, the higher probability that you will build a very loyal fan base around that niche, very specific thing.
Yes.
And, you know, we see it with Taylor Swift, for example. We see it with the hockey show. What's it called?
Oh my gosh, my mind just...
I know, I completely just blanked.
It's 2 words.
Yeah. The hockey show.
The hockey show. We all know the hockey show.
The one.
That was an example she used at Cannes.
Heated rivalry.
Yes, thank you. Heated rivalry. So Rachel used that example in her talk at Cannes, and there's a whole fan base around that show for a variety of reasons. And now they're making it into a musical in New York.
Incredible.
And there's just so many psychological facets of what make fandom come to be, which you know a lot about as well. I'd actually be interested to hear what you think around what makes a fandom a fandom.
I mean, I definitely think you hit the nail on the head with the niche thing. It's like your goal is never to go out and like have this fandom revolve around you. It's like you have to know your niche and you have to know their culture and you have to know how to like tap into what they care about in a way that makes them feel like they're part of the process almost. Because I feel like, not that everything has to come back to Taylor Swift, but like,
I mean, it should.
But like, you know, I feel like she is like the shining kind of example of like, oh, fandom. What she and others like her do so well is they pull you in and make you feel like you are part of that world, the world building.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're not just like on the outside watching it unfold.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you have to put in the work and the research and the effort to know your niche audience well enough to be able to do that.
It's
and
so
I think
true.
that's the biggest.
I
think
love
that's
how
the
you
biggest
phrase that. They're like a citizen of the world, of the
Yeah.
brand world that you've built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting because I feel like on the creator piece of the equation, have been having conversations lately about the knowledge content is not welcome on a platform like YouTube. It's supposed to be entertainment, but I feel like this new thing that's evolving. And I feel like building the fandom is also a way to bring people in. It's the opposite of the fear of like, you have to do it like this.
Right.
It's like you're welcoming people in to show what you're building. As a creator, you're building a personal brand, and it's not just for big B2B companies who have a bunch of budget to point at it. Everybody's doing this at varying levels of scale. And so I think the fandom aspect and the building around like, let me show you behind the scenes and here's me as a person is part of all of this.
Yeah.
Humans are at the center of brand. And even though there are all these great AI tools now, the humans are what we keep coming back to, I feel like. Do you think that's true?
1,000%. And just in response to what you just said about like YouTube isn't supposed to be that way, it's like there's no rules.
I know.
Yeah.
There are
It's
no
the
rules.
Wild freaking
Yeah.
West.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we get to make up the rules.
Yes.
Of course.
And it's like if we know that AI agents are, it's like, what was the stat that we put out research on at AirOps? Up to 85% of AI search content is offsite content, and YouTube is one of the biggest drivers of that content. And it's authoritative content. It's not the entertaining stuff.
Right. It's answering questions.
So it's like, case in point, we should be making more content like that.
Yeah.
Right. What I've been seeing online as well is like, there's folks who have done things a certain way throughout their career, and things are changing so much, and they're resistant to that
that's so
change.
fair.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And that is something that just being a voyeur and how that plays out across industries makes me nervous for those change-resistant people.
Yes.
100%.
You got to be really flexible right now.
Yes.
Very curious, very flexible.
Yes. Agree.
Yeah.
I think my hot take, like to your point about there are no rules, there's a lot of thought around, okay, we have to be worried about how the agents are going to find things and et cetera. And it's like, I'm not going to create content for an agent.
Right.
Like, I'm just not.
Right.
And I think it's going to be flipped where, like, I think agents are going to have to learn with, like, the personalization of it all. It's like the agents will learn what you want and what your taste is, and they will go find that.
Yeah.
And so it's like you're still creating for humans no matter what.
Yeah.
Quality content is what everyone should be optimizing for. The agents they'll prefer that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like SEO with keyword stuffing where there were so many hackers that were just stuffing all these keywords into a blog post. The quality was garbage.
Yes.
And they were just optimizing for the first page on Google, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And now it's like, actually, it's different because quality writing will get cited.
Yes, for sure.
And so the slop, the hacks, the cheap tricks, those don't work in the AEO world.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
It's almost like it goes back to that niche thing because these AI engines and the agents and all of it, they're so good at finding what you specifically want.
Right.
And so it's like the niche of all niche, right?
Yeah.
It's like the more niche you can go with your content, it's like those people will find you, whether it's them or whether it's their, whatever search engine they're using.
I think a lot about creating experiences and content for people and then also creating content for agents. And it is this bifurcated world now that doesn't need to be so divided.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a formula in that agents will read a markdown very successfully, right? So maybe just make sure you include an LLMS.text or something on your website. But at the end of the day, it's the human that's going to make the decision. And the agent's just helping expedite that information on the buying journey.
Yep.
But creating content for humans, I don't see as many people talking about that as much as they are AEO and AI search and offsite.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's just something I've been thinking about a lot because it's still such an important factor in the buying journey.
Yeah,
100%.
It really is. It
100%.
really is. Well, to wrap things up, we are going to talk about what we're fanning out about right now. We did this last time around, and so we're going to just do rapid fire here, what we're very into. So, Jess, I'm going to let you go first. What are you fanning out about right now?
I'm fanning out about the creator space.
Okay.
And just so many factors about it. Just what I am seeing, creators are able to make a really incredible living for themselves, and they're basically founders, right?
Yeah,
they're founders
totally.
of their own businesses and in control of their livelihood, and how brands are working with creators to influence their story and build their brand. It's just really inspiring to me.
What I'm fanning out about right now is, I thought really hard about this, and I think it's Antonelli's, the cheese store here in Austin.
Ooh, tell me more.
In a perfect world, I would be a cheese influencer. I love cheese. I eat it every day. I have my favorites. Shout out to Dubliner. That's my favorite cheese right now. But they have such a nice little business here in town, and they have wine. And some days I'm just like, do I just want to quit and go work at Antonelli's?
Is this episode sponsored by Antonelli?
It's not,
Okay.
but hit me up. I
Unofficial
love you
sponsor.
guys.
Yeah.
Maybe you should. Okay, this is going to be really cheesy.
Oh!
Maybe you should wedge cheese into your content more.
Maybe I should just subtly have it float onto
Be
screen.
like, and today's, fan out post is
Sponsored by a very
niche Austin.
Talk
spread
about
some
niche.
cheese on a
Don't tempt me
cracker.
with a good time. Yes.
Okay,
your turn.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I have I just constantly have these middle-aged dad answers. Okay, but I'm gonna go with what I said earlier, and I'm fanning out about a good old-fashioned lawn care service company. Look, okay, hear me out.
Hear me out.
We're all busy. I'm a mom. I'm trying to grow a business. While I love, getting my hands dirty, I love the smell of some fresh cut grass. There's nothing like having stuff taken off your plate,
I love it.
Get those hours back so that I can spend them on AI.
There's any local Austin lawn services watching, hit Krista up.
Yeah, already
She's
influenced.
looking.
I did buy
Yeah.
based off your recommendation.
Yeah.
So
See what I mean?
Someone recently told me they spent some time in Sweden, and they have these Roomba type lawnmowers there.
Whoa.
they're so expensive.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I want one too.
They look very cool.
Immediately.
You do a good job too.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay.
In
Just
the
imagine
future.
what would go wrong with a lawn mower
nothing.
Roomba. All
What could
the
go
things
wrong?
that cross your mind. Yeah.
I know.
God.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Next time I'm gonna have a not.
No,
Doubt
it's a good potpourri of topics.
That's right. We really covered.
Yeah.
We have levels.
I think the theme
we have
is
range.
creators.
That's right.
Yes.
Cheese creators.
Yeah.
If there's any lawn service
influence
creators out there,
yes.
we want to see your content.
Yeah. And brand.
Local business creators.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
true. Start a newsletter all about cheese. When I have more time with AI, I'll do it
There you
then.
go.
But anyways, thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time. Thank you, Jess, for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.